Wartime survival, it's about more than just battles and strategy. It's about facing the harshest challenges nature can throw at us and figuring out how to endure even when the odds seem impossible. Winter once decided who lived and who didn't. Long before furnaces, insulation or electricity, entire communities survived winters so brutal that exposed skin could freeze in just a few minutes. Temperatures plunged to 50 below zero. The wind, well, it never really stopped. Firewood was scarce, or sometimes even non-existent. And yet people didn't just endure these conditions. They built warm, stable, livable homes that protected entire families for months at a time. The solution wasn't bigger fires or thicker clothing. It was something far more powerful. They went underground. Today, we're uncovering one of the most overlooked engineering achievements in human history. The underground homes that allowed Native American communities to survive the coldest winters ever recorded on this continent. So, before we jump in, take a moment, if you will, to like this video, share it with someone who loves real history, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. It honestly helps keep long-form, research-driven history alive. Why was winter on the Great Plains deadlier than war? Well, on the Great Plains, winter was not just a season. It was, in fact, a 6-month siege. There were no forests for firewood, no mountains for shelter, and no caves to retreat into. When winter storms arrived, the land became a flat, frozen expanse, where wind stripped heat from the human body faster than hunger or thirst ever could. This environment forced innovation. Clothing alone wasn't enough, and above-ground shelters just failed. The only reliable protection, really, came from the ground itself. The earth, just a few feet below the surface, maintains a stable temperature year-round. Indigenous builders understood this long before modern thermal science ever existed. The Mandan Earth Lodges, engineering without blueprints. Along the Missouri River, the Mandan people perfected one of the most advanced cold-weather dwellings ever constructed in North America. Their earth lodges were partially underground structures designed to trap heat-block wind and regulate airflow naturally. Builders excavated wide circular pits and constructed massive post and beam frameworks using cottonwood logs. These supports carried the weight of several tons of sod and earth layered on top. This wasn't guesswork. The angles, spacing and load distribution were precise enough that many lodges stood for decades. Inside, temperatures stayed between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, even when outdoor conditions dropped to lethal extremes. Central fire pits provided heat, while carefully positioned smoke holes created natural ventilation that removed smoke without allowing warmth to escape. Entrance tunnels were angled downward and then upward, forming cold traps that prevented freezing air from rushing inside. This single design feature alone saved countless lives. Arctic survival, especially for the Thule, relied on the science of cold traps. Farther north, in the Arctic, survival demanded even greater precision. The Thule people, who are the ancestors of today's Inuit, built semi-subterranean homes in a land where trees simply didn't grow and winter dominated most of the year. Their houses combined stone walls, whalebone frameworks, and thick sod roofs. The key innovation was the entrance tunnel. These passageways extended well below floor level, trapping cold air while warm air remained in the living space. Raised sleeping platforms placed families where heat naturally collected. Seal oil lamps provided both light and steady warmth, and the surrounding earth stabilized temperatures even when outside conditions dropped to 60 below zero. This was thermal physics, mastered through observation and experience. In the southwest, the challenge wasn't just cold, it was extreme temperature swings. The ancestral Puebloans built underground ceremonial and living spaces called kivas, designed to stay warm in winter and cool in summer. Thick stone walls, subterranean placement, and carefully engineered ventilation systems created stable indoor climates year-round. Vent shafts pulled fresh air across fire pits without drafts. Roof beams distributed weight evenly across circular chambers. Some cliff dwellings integrated underground rooms directly into rock faces, using stone as natural insulation. These weren't primitive shelters. They were climate-controlled environments built without metal tools. In regions with limited resources, smaller pit houses provided efficient winter shelter. These semi-underground homes required minimal materials but delivered maximum insulation. Roof entryways reduced heat loss and prevented snow blockage. Stone-lined walls stabilized temperatures and resisted moisture. Every design choice served survival. Nothing was wasted. Shelter alone wasn't enough. Food had to last. Across woodland regions, indigenous communities built underground storage pits below the frost line. These cache systems preserved corn, beans, squash, and dried meats for months without spoilage. Sealed with bark, earth, and careful drainage, these pits functioned as natural refrigerators centuries before refrigeration existed. Some settlements connected storage pits directly to living spaces, allowing families to access food without exposure to dangerous winter conditions. Modern architects study these structures for a reason. They were sustainable, energy-efficient, and perfectly adapted to their environments. They required no fossil fuels, produced minimal waste, and worked with natural systems instead of against them. You know, in an era facing climate uncertainty and energy challenges, these ancient designs offer lessons modern society desperately needs. These underground homes weren't, symbols of desperation. They were actually symbols of knowledge. They represent engineering skill, environmental science, and cultural wisdom refined over thousands of years. These homes kept families warm, communities intact, and traditions alive through winters that could have honestly erased them from history. If you found this story valuable, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, share this video with a fellow history lover, and leave a comment below. Your support really does help keep deep, respectful history alive. Sleep well, and we'll meet again for another journey through humanity's most remarkable achievements.